world is troubled in many regards, and the planet needs help.
We live, you said it rightly, a first world country with a third world mentality.
We're very pleased today to have the opportunity to partner with Kanan and his team at Storm to present Keep It Going. This, of course, marks the 5th year of Storm. And we know sustainability is important, but we do want to make it something personal. It's a personal journey for many of us, and we want to take it to that level.
If we do not do something about it, it is going to spin out of control. And as somebody once rightly put, if you don't have a planet, you don't have a platform to do any business.
I think the difficulty comes from the question is how can the whole business decide whether sustainability should be part of the design consideration.
The sustainability of this world issue today, it seems to me, is like firefighting. Everything we want to do, we're just solving something, and something makes me turn up.
Life changes overnight. Fly back, I'm over the sun, immediately work starts the day after. You try to keep the business going. Don't mess it up, just keep it going.
The business continues to be family owned, and I think this enables us to plan and run a business in a long-term manner for a fairly unique business that I think not many shareholders would understand.
For years I've been preaching formalizing things, a proper structure, a proper governance and so on. Why? Because it's important to fix it before something goes wrong. So some of these things need to be put in place, and once it's in place, when something unfortunate happens, you have something to fall back on.
You did a wonderful, excellent dissection of a family business, but it sounds a lot like the way some governments are run. So does Pricewater, your company Pricewater Coopers, give advice to governments on how they should organize themselves well so that we don't have a drama when somebody dies?
Well, because the chances are those governments would not invite us because they don't think they're doing anything wrong. So
it's not always easy to get people's attention on the important issues of our world and the main problems concerning us globally.
I've been trying to form international norms at the United Nations. That takes forever, and it's a very cumbersome process. I've also been involved in the new thing very much, which is multi-stakeholder partnerships where government, big business and civil society come together around an issue and say, this is so important to all of us, we have to work together and bring our different forms of political capital to the table and then make a change.
The earth needs Viagra. Alright, so he said to keep it going because planet Earth is getting old and aged, and like a few of us heading that way, we need some help.
I'm not talking about sustainability of this country. That is my concern. Why don't we sustain first the countries that was built by the grandparents, who did a great job, the parents that brought it up. Who's going to run the country in the future? Can it be run only by intellectuals? We have some of the best systems in the world. It's a safe country. But what about 10, 20 years from now? Let's talk about people.
Whatever we do, with love, we serve with love, we serve with passion, we serve with integrity, we serve with total dedication to our people.
There are three areas of sustainability. We'll just talk about definitions for a second. Three E's they're called. First of all is economic sustainability. Secondly is environmental sustainability. And the third one is social equity sustainability.
Any business, whatever business you're in, To be sustainable as a business in the next 3 to 5 years, you have to have a mobile strategy. Simple.
We started 10 years ago and we decided that to survive in this business, we have to be different. So we adopted the avant-garde approach. So we designed watches that's totally out of the world, so that people can identify our products. Like when you look at the quirky watches, hey, is that an azimuth?
I mean, a lot of consumers in Singapore have started recently to buy things or to consume things that last longer and looks better when it lasts longer. I mean, when you go to Milan, everything's in marble, Volacas, Marquina, and it gets always like 100, 200 over years old and become a beautiful artifact. But if you look at Singapore, everything's big. It's just like you wake up and you got a giant tree right in front of your house, you know, and everything's engineered.
I mean, right outside this very nice marina is probably one of Singapore's richest areas. So how do you ensure that there's adequate security for the residents? How do you ensure that there's enough land for development into the future? How do you deal with congestion issues?
So it's how we tackle some cultural, traditional aspects of our day-to-day and how we can sort of focus more and more in trying to be self-dependent overall.
But he said Singapore's idea of utopia was the future is never there. You keep on striving, you keep on seeking it. And when you do that, you become the true utopia because you will not suppress people, you will not imprison people for wrong ideas because the future is always being shaped by the past or by the present.
A Zen Buddhism theory, very simple, you can explain to a 6-year-old kid. You know, when you're hungry, you eat. When you're sleepy, you sleep. No rocket science, right? But look how we have translated it. You know, we're hungry, then we go line up for hamburgers, right? 4 hours later, buy the hamburger, throw away, and then give that stupid Hello Kitty. Or you can hammer somebody along the way. What the hell went wrong?
That's mindless consumerism. Mindless consumerism, I think I don't have to explain, they're all quite smart to understand, right?
The values, I think it's you know, for a family to keep its business going for a long time, it's important to have the values set right from the beginning and communicate it to succeeding generations.
You see, what's happened in the last 10, 15, 20 years, rightly or wrongly, is that we have lost many of our artisans. From a system where, you know, we had few people with degrees at the top and a lot of artisans at the bottom. These days it's kind of been inverted in this way where we have a lot more degree holders at the top and we've lost all our artisans at the bottom.
Pleased to see some connection between the arts and the environment as well, and I think artists, in my mind, think sustainably in what they do and how they express themselves and what they pass on to others. So I think the arts has a very important part to play.
Not about cars and houses, we are the most expensive in this universe. But like Peter said, we grow nothing here. You know.
You talk about opening a can of worms. That wasn't a can, that was a barrel. Well, yeah, well, I hope your left side. Have you ever been punched by ivy? If I'm not mistaken, with this not so massive amount of agriculture and backland, we are about people, isn't it? So is today's generation ready to lead this country into the next leap?
I write about sustaining things we might take for granted. For instance, friendship, curiosity. These are things that you can very easily sustain through life. And it's important because I think it's reflected the spirit that has also brought all of you here together today. So, let's keep it going.